place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, good morning and welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. It is April 8th, 2026, and at just about 6:57 a.m. we are coming to you live from the Portsmouth, Scarborough, Tobago. To all our viewers who are tuning in, whether on AMPLIA, Flow, Digicel, or maybe you're tuning in on YouTube or Facebook, we thank you for joining us this morning and a good morning to you. Today isn't just a regular Wednesday, it's Youth Wednesdays here at Tobago Updates, and my co-host this morning, Dwayne,
good morning. Again, she has taken away the title of favorite youth host from me this morning, but I am not by any means jealous or perplexed by that. I'm quite happy to have you here with me as co-host this morning. And as Jolie said, a pleasant good morning to all our audience viewers wherever in the world you're viewing us. And for those of you just rolling off your beds, just coming back from Buku last evening, I hope you enjoyed your Easter holiday. For those of you who are quite religious, I hope that you took much time to reflect and introspect and make all the notable changes you think are necessary, in preparation for what Christians call the return of Jesus Christ, right? It was a much needed and fast-paced holiday weekend, yes, so much so that I want to know which days were the holidays.
Where did it go?
Where did it all go? But nonetheless, we look forward for more holidays, longer holidays, in the not too distant future. I don't know about you.
Yes, I am.
How did you spend your weekend?
My weekend was filled with CXC.
Oh.
Yes.
And guys, for those of you who are preparing for CSEC exams and CAPE exams, we just want to give you some encouragement here from us on Youth Wednesdays that, put your best foot forward.
Always.
Put God first. Put in the work, be consistent, and see the results of your work, right? So all the best to all of you, the CAPE and CXC candidates for the upcoming exams. So guys, we have a lot in store for you this morning as per usual. But before we go into what we have for you, we're going to go over to News in 90 Seconds with Jolie St. John.
Thank you. Tobago has empowered Team TTO to a spectacular finish at the 53rd Carifta Games in Grenada. Our athletes delivered a massive 15 medals towards the national 35-medal total, crushing last year's performance. Every Tobago-based club represented in Grenada secured at least one podium finish. High honors go to gold medalist Jafari Shaw in the discus, Kylie Alexander-Reid in the 800-meter, and Sienna Parsons in the triple jump. NAATT President Keith Serrett confirms the team surpassed its 2026 30-medal target and its 2025 25-medal achievement, proving Tobago is at the heart of Caribbean athletic excellence. For residents and businesses utilizing the Scarborough Abattoir, there has been a temporary change in operations. The Division of Food Security has suspended cash collection at the abattoir. Effective April 1st, all payments are being facilitated at the Scarborough Market until further notice. Finally, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine visited Guyana over the Easter weekend as one of the main speakers at the Caribbean Union Conference's 2026 Pathfinder Camporee on April 4th at Lou Creek. The event featured several high-profile attendees, including Guyana's President Dr. Irfan Ali and West Indies cricketer Shamal Joseph. On the diplomatic front, arriving in Georgetown on April 3rd, the Chief Secretary was received by High Commissioner Candice Shade of the High Commission of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago to Guyana. That was your news in 90 seconds. Join us again at 6:30 p.m. for our full newscast.
We want to thank Julie again for News in 90 Seconds. It has been a lot happening in this space.
Yes, it has.
And I want to think that this begins for Tobago, its calendar of events. I mean, you really just start with harvest, eh?
Yes.
The best harvest in Tobago, which is Glamorgan, Pembroke, just say. But anyway, but we just had crab and goat race.
We had the Arise concert over the weekend as well.
Yeah, boy, I missed that, boy.
Me too.
But
Next year.
the small thing, man. I mean, I'm sure they could bring another one before the year finish. And I want them to bring Samuel Meadas. He's our boss. He's our boss. He's our boss. But anyway, I look forward to seeing Tobago becoming the epicenter for the vacation hub.
Yes.
As for those countries who have snow and so on.
Winter season.
The winter season. Come and spend the winter season in Tobago, right?
We're
up to
warm
Easter.
down here.
We warm right through. Even when
today.
it's wet, it's warm, right? So you're good. But we're gonna go straight over to our birthdays.
Yeah.
Did you celebrate a birthday today, Jolie?
No, I didn't.
Right. Just 1 second. Right. First we have. Oh, they did not put it. Miss Christiana Richardson. Right. I did say Christiana Richardson. Happy birthday goes out to you.
Better known
young.
as Auntie Gracelyn.
Yeah. Auntie Gracelyn, man. She really does look like a Gracelyn. And she look like she could make a real good poem. So happy birthday goes out to you. And, we wishing you all the best. Who do we have next?
We also want to wish Miss Simoy Jofield a happy birthday. Looking very splendid in this photo. We hope that you enjoy your day and live a very prosperous life to come.
She looks like she's modeling for
she does.
either not Timo but Shein or what is it?
Fashion Nova,
Papayo, right? Who do we have next? I think it would be remiss of me if I don't do this one. This is the renowned, the elegant, the brilliant, the witty Miss Chanel Felix. A happy birthday goes out to you. Chanel and I go way back. Chanel and Tobago updates has gone way back. She's a family here. All right, so a happy birthday goes out to you. We want to wish you all the best. I don't know if you'll be traveling, but if you're just traveling, bring back a sweetie for me, please. Right? And the producer say he wants something, but he say he gonna message you what he wants. But happy birthday goes out to you. I hope you enjoy your day. You could take a day off today. I sanction that. You don't have to come to Tobago updates this morning. They will still pay you because it's your birthday, right? So happy birthday goes out to you. Any words for we call?
Well, I know she's not a stranger here at Tobago updates and in the Tobago space generally. So we want to wish you many more years of leaving an impact on the Tobago community.
Yes, certainly. So for those of you who did not make it on our birthday list this morning, those birthday prior and birthday today and to come, we still want to wish you a happy birthday. A special birthday greeting goes out to my niece, my beautiful niece. She celebrated her birthday on April 4th. I was in Trinidad. I gave her the top because she turned double digits. Another double digits over the weekend. 11 years old, and she's becoming a teenager. She's preteen. I had to give her I had to begin the conversation with her. You know what I mean? To prepare for the the teenage pre-adulthood. Right? So guys, thank you for joining us. And if you want to wish or celebrate your birthday with us, send it to our Facebook chat or wherever you could. Send it to us and we would celebrate you. So guys, we have a lot for you in store.
Really a lot.
Do you want to help me do this?
Sure,
Share it with them what we have this morning. We have a lot of nice thing here, man.
Mr. Ndubisi Hall, he is a coach and facilitator. He will be joining us this morning to speak about the Buku Sports Club's sailing camp. After that, we have not one, not two, but three guests joining us, Mr. Daniel Vincent, Miss Ruan Thomas, and Miss Candice Rajman, and they are going to be speaking up to us about the Extreme Fitness 27-day challenge, and two of them are actually winners of the challenge that was concluded previously. And our last Youth Wednesday interview for this morning will be Nkosi Phillips, political leader of the Unity of the People, joining us to speak about the UN Conference Commission of the Status of Women. So, diverse conversations this morning.
Yeah, very diverse, and all centered around youth and youth empowerment. So guys, this is Tobago Updates. This is Youth Wednesdays. Jolie, join me and tell them to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way.
Some bunnies getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through, because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together.
Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way.
Trinidad, Tobago and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear, an older patient may have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. So a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Who said the elderly can't have fun too? We're talking good food, proper music, lots of games, and a day at the beach they will never forget. From the time we left the compound at Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, the vibe was already established. Wheels up and seatbelts on. Watch now, when we touched down in Pigeon Point, everybody was ready for excitement. But before anything could take place, we had to secure bellies. You ever play bingo by the beachside? Well, that was the first activity on the roster, and boy, did these seniors have fun. However, others wanted something more physical, so we brought out the ring toss, and not even arthritis could have stopped them. Well, I was blown away at how straight these people were. Are you sure this is a home for the elderly? Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, but nothing beats the song of Good Steel Pan by the shores while we take a dip in Tobago's finest water. Wait, more food again? This is my type of event. The energy was amazing and nothing short of a blessing. Big up Heavenly Care Home for the elderly, because joy doesn't retire, laughter doesn't age, and memories like these last forever.
To a stranger.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Benin. Coming up, Jamaica, here we come. These women of vision are on a mission. Ride the waves and savor the flavor, otherwise known as spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda. Fun times, plus the food that sets St. Kitts and Nevis apart, all available under one roof. Cue the entertainment and the food. It's Chinese Spring Festival time. It's all next on this station.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. It's who we are at the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. We're deepening our commitment to the region, continuing to invest in the networks, services, and digital solutions that move Caribbean businesses forward. Whether you are a mid-sized business or multinational player, we bring you resilient connectivity, personalized service, and tailored IT solutions, all powered by local teams that truly have your back. We're here to help you navigate challenges, grow, and achieve your goals with practical solutions, reliable networks, and a partnership rooted in trust and your long-term success. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Courts is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Courts Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Courts Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Tobago. It's Carnival. The Vibe. The event space, formerly known as Shade, for the Court Tobago, said, let's celebrate Carnival. Bring your coolers every Friday and Saturday, starting from Friday the 30th of January till Carnival week, and pay $50 at the door with your cooler all night. No ice, no chaser allowed. Top DJ and artists passing through every Friday and Saturday. To pre-book your cabanas, call 369-6414 and 394-3612 or email iwamg@gmail.com. And this promotion is going on until Easter. Gates open at 9 p.m. It's rum, it's bacchanal. Bring your coolers and come.
Been down this road before. All that left is rum and bacchanal. This is Carnival.
with a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing yourself live in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. I'm one of your favorite youth hosts, joined with Jolie St. John. We want to take the discussion, across a notch, not down a notch, but in commemoration with what occurred over the weekend. And I happened to be there last evening, and it seemed to have been well supported.
Yes, it did.
Well supported. I must say that the turnout was great. Even at the time in which I got there, usually people would be now going in and so on, but it seemed as if that during the day it was well supported, and I was told of an article done by Secretary Hackett, responsibility for tourism, praising our Trinidad visitors, who came and well supported the event. I happened also to see some foreigners there as well who were visiting the island and immersing themselves into the experience as well.
And the experience seemed to be well branded. The Tobago festivals, they would have had a booth both at the Mount Pleasant Games as well as the Boko Goat and Crab Race. I saw a lot of branding with the Tobago Carnival, the Blue Food Festival. So I believe the opportunity was utilized to not just have persons enjoy the Easter events, but to mark it so that they are enticed to return later down in the year, because we do have a lot in store. Easter is just one part of the Tobago products.
And you mentioned Blue Food. Oh gosh, Blue Food. Right? I don't know if you ever had experienced Blue Food.
Yes, I have several times.
Yeah, well, I only went once. But anyway, the one time I did go, I had dashing dumpling and goat. It was the best. And I think tourism, just a little hint, part of your slogan could be taste Tobago, feel Tobago, experience Tobago, because Tobago is all about food as well.
Yes, it is.
Tobago is
everything, honestly. We have such a diverse tourism product. We have the culinary events like Blue Food. We have the Goat and Crab Race. We are one of the few destinations in the world that plays with their food. We have the natural attractions, the main ridge, the reefs, the beaches. Tobago has everything that a tourist would want in a destination.
I think we are melting pot for tourism.
We really are.
I think what we need to do and what we need to see happening is a more formalizing, organizing of our product. I think our product is still at this stage in 2026 too informal, so much so that when tourists come or visit the island, they have to often hear it by the wayside, as opposed to seeing it or expecting it or know to go on a specific page to know what's happening in Tobago, so they could plan ahead and they could know what these events are, so they could be able to immerse themselves. One of the things I think we are playing with again is harvest. Harvest is a year-long thing. It's unique
product to Tobago. Almost every Sunday in the year, you could just walk into a stranger's house, get a plate of food and some drinks for free. That is a product that could be packaged and bring in so much income for the island.
Yes, it's a return on investment. That's something that we could market. You don't have to buy much groceries in this month, because you were getting free food for 2 days to tote.
And that's kind of an informal sector thing. And even with the informality, the informal sector does need some structure to ensure that not just the big entities benefit from events that we host, but the small man on the ground, the person who could cook in the house.
So I think that there's a lot of work to be done, and we are seeing the work, but we anticipate us getting to a point where it's actually where it should be. But we're speaking still staying on the topic of Boko. I looked at the patrons there, and my heart kind of sunk, because we didn't have enough room for parking, or we didn't have enough room for people to sit, right? And I think at this stage, Boko and Crab, Boko Goat Race and Crab Race Festival should have these logistical issues sorted out. We should have shuttling, we should have designated for parking, and if you know your event is going to be of a certain scale, then you might need to upscale your tiers. So instead of just having VIP at the upper echelon of the tier, have VVIP. So VVIP would have more intimate parking, and then VIP would have, you know, a step down parking and some perks, right? And you know, you may need to want to charge people. I don't know if it's a pay. I don't know. I have never paid to go into the event, so I don't know if persons pay to go in, right? Right. You know, based on where I you know, my influence and so on, you know. But right. So but perhaps a consideration might be to, you know, sell tickets or something. I don't know. This by the door thing should be left for persons who are last minute and just hearing about the event.
But also happening yesterday was the return of our Caribstar athletes. Both the Trinidad and the Tobago athletes would have came back to Tobago, and they really do deserve a round of applause. The performance was way better than they expected and planned for, way better than last year's performance, and Tobago would have made a major contribution to the total medal count. 50 out of 35.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. And I mean, I didn't get a chance to look at it because I was so busy over the weekend. But congratulations to all our athletes. You know, I think that Tobago is and can be second to none as it pertains to athletes, because, you know, we are just strong, resilient people, and everything and anything that we put our hands on our heads to, we excel everywhere. You know, so I want to, you know, give congratulations to our athletes, and I hope that, you know, the support continues. We need to support our athletes, right? And yes, everything is not financial, but money is answer all things, right? So you know, I'm pleading on not just our governmental organizations, but also our non-governmental organization. Be as a brand sponsor for for one of the athletes, Penny Savers, right? Royal Castle, you know, Barcode, right? All of these, you know, indigenous businesses on the island. Channel 5 Tobago updates, right? You know, share the live, right? But they could be sharing the live while they are live running applying their skill in athletics. You know?
And it's also up to the athletes and the sports clubs as well to ensure that their voice is heard, to speak up, because sometimes there are underlying issues that persons may not even be aware of, small things, major things as well. So it's all about making a point.
You know, so I'm grateful that we have a lot of things that is placing Tobago on the map. You know, I hold high hopes for our athletes and our tourism product. I like the where we are trending, and I hope that we continue in that vein.
And I hope that the positive news and activities and achievements, they continue to overcome the negative.
Yes, certainly. You know, my co-host is laughing there. You know, just as a sign of good things to come. I'm also looking forward to Blue Food, right? And I'm wondering, given the fact that, you know, it's a trend, it's a tradition, it's customary for the rain to fall around that time. Given that we're having all this rain now, we should be selling raincoats and umbrellas in preparation for Blue Food.
Yes, I think they do, but more so closer to the time or on the day of the event.
Yeah, boy.
But it's definitely a turning point, not just for branding, but preparedness.
Yeah, because listen, if I was expecting Easter to be hot and sunny, rain whole time. If it's not overcast, it's raining, right? Imagine I washed my vehicle yesterday, and to see raindrops on the thing is real heart-wrenching. But it is what it is, right? I guess there is nature for you there, and climate change and so on. But you know, I don't know if and when you know, the Blue Food will get to a place where, you know, we move away from, you know, having to park so far, you know, away from the event and so on. And they would, I see that they made a very big car park in the back.
Yes,
of
they did.
the
And
boats.
the same shuttles that you would have suggested for
Yeah.
Buku, we have those for Blue Food as well.
Yes, I hear about that, but I want to drive in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to
Well,
drive.
I've only been there once, Dwayne. So maybe once you come early this year, you'll get the opportunity to drive in.
No problem, guys. And I hope that Tobago Base gets me a free ticket in, right, and food and thing. Then we only know how we just dub it here at Youth Wednesdays.
But the tourism product cannot survive on free things. You need to support the vendors.
Listen, I have been contributing to this beloved island in more ways than some that it would be crazy for me to attach a monetary value on my
to your
contribution.
Okay.
I'm certain that you could say the same about yourself.
Yes, I have.
But we're speaking about my contribution. Right? But yes, I do agree with you. You know, I think we need to invest in our island. Close your eye and spend the money. God is good. Right? So yes. Right, we have exhausted our speaking time at this point. We're going to go for a quick break and we'll be right back. Viewers, just remember to
share the live, share the live, share the live.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, you know, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear, an older patient may have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. So a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Hop, hop hip hooray, Easter money's on its way.
Some bunnies getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together.
Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way.
Courts is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Courts Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Courts Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Tobago, it's Carnival. The vibe, the event space, formerly known as Shade, for the court Tobago, said, let's celebrate Carnival. Bring your coolers every Friday and Saturday, starting from Friday the 30th of January till Carnival week, and pay $50 at the door with your cooler all night. No ice, no chaser allowed. Top DJ and artists passing through every Friday and Saturday. To pre-book your cabanas, call 369-6414 and 394-3612 or email iwamg@gmail.com. And this promotion is going on until Easter. Gates open at 9 p.m. It's rum, it's bacchanal. Bring your coolers and come.
Been down this road before. All that left is rum and bacchanal. This is Carnival.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. It's who we are at the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. We're deepening our commitment to the region, continuing to invest in the networks, services, and digital solutions that move Caribbean businesses forward. Whether you are a mid-sized business or multinational player, we bring you resilient connectivity, personalized service, and tailored IT solutions, all powered by local teams that truly have your back. We're here to help you navigate challenges, grow, and achieve your goals with practical solutions, reliable networks, and a partnership rooted in trust and your long-term success. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Hair goals, we've got 'em. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Trinidad, Tobago, and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday, 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs, and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing us live in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. I'm one of your favorite youth hosts this morning, Dwayne Nez, and I'm joined with Jolie St. John. And this morning we're taking discussion more centered around fitness and health, and we're losing good things this year, right? And to have this conversation with us this morning is none other than Coach health fanatic, hike man, if you want to call him that. Daniel Vincent, certainly no stranger to us here on Tobago Updates, and no stranger to us here in Tobago. Good morning and welcome to you, my brother.
Good morning to you all first, good morning to Tobago, and good morning to everyone that's locked in live this morning. So, pleasure to be here again.
Yeah, I've heard many mixed reviews, all good. I heard that you just killed them. I heard that you just be hard on them.
Extreme is extreme.
Yeah. It's extreme stuff we're talking about. So we're discussing this morning the Extreme 27 the challenge winners. Walk us through the conceptualization of this this initiative, and why was this birthed, and why is it important?
Well, this challenge was started about 7 years ago, and it had a pause because of COVID. And as much as I love to be in Tobago, and as I'm outside and abroad, back and forth, I always want to stay rooted to home. So by doing this, is always stay connected to the ground. And it started as a free challenge where we're just helping people in general. This morning, I just want to say shout out to Abby Taylor. It's because of her this challenge actually started back. And a couple other friends who were having little health complications and, wanted to have a different perspective. You might go to a doctor, yes, but most times you might need a different person to tell you across the board from a doctor perspective. So this is how the challenge revamped, and I did it in a way where persons did a registration fee, paying $100 for early bird, and then we started at $150, and the winner won $5,000. And then we had the inches. Shout out to Candice, who is here with us this morning. She won the most with the inches for $1,000. And May 1st is actually the next one coming. So people already start registering.
Yes, so you're getting rewarded for the
Correct,
progress.
for your hard work, progress, and not only just about the money, like I always tell persons, it's you taking accountability for yourself, being healthy. Don't wait till you get to the hospital for somebody to tell you that you're sick or you're laying on a deathbed, which is one of the things that why Extreme was revamped from 2010 till now. And now my perspective is literally not only in Tobago but abroad. Right?
So speaking about accountability, from the rules of the 27-day challenge that I saw posted, the details indicate that this is a very strict and intense program.
I wouldn't say strict. It's beginners friendly, and one thing I will stamp on, it takes 21 days to actually adapt to a healthy habit. Yes, persons do break it. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm sure some of them, Candice might tell you this morning as well. The cravings. Sugar is one of the most addictive things that you cannot run away from. So the fact that even if you mess up one day, I always tell them every day that I post, hey, make sure you stay consistent going forward. Everybody have a bad day. Rain doesn't fall every day, but when it falls, it falls. So that is how it brought the results for everyone. Even if someone lost a pound, they lost body fat, which is something that persons don't look at. They just look at the weight only. You might lose a pound a week, but if you look at how many fat compared to muscle mass, you'll be surprised. Be like, wait, I literally lost 5 pounds of body fat, which is my main target. But the results speak for itself.
So there's a method to the madness.
Yes, there's a method to the science of it. Because we could be here right now this morning, we could step on a scale. All of us could weigh 170, but we also have to look into the body mass index, which is our height, muscles, and so forth. And that is how we compare things to balance, like, okay, because the first week of this challenge, somebody lost 15 pounds. The first week, and that hit people for 6 out the park. And everybody's like, I lost. I was like, hey, she's going to plateau. They was like, what do you mean? Her body's going to go into a shock phase where I lost the weight so drastic. No, you have to be disciplined where you push your body out of that comfort zone. That is why they say that it was kill people. That part. But I never got arrested for it.
And that emphasizes the point of not comparing your journey with others.
Never compare yourself to others. And let the clothes do the dressing of the weight. Don't let the scale do it for you. Because it could be depressing. Because person's like, hey, I just went on the scale and I weigh the same. What kind of scale do you have? And that is one of the things too, are the scales in kg, or if it's one of those granny scales that you pull from under the bed. Again, now we in technology now, the science is different now, where the scales are different, where it tells you your body age and body fat, your muscle, your bone density, and so forth. So now there's more science behind it. So when you see that you're losing body fat, you could be like, I just lost 5 pounds of fat this week, comparing to I just lost a pound.
So what scale would you recommend? Because I've never looked into that at all.
So there's a lot of, there's Run, which is a good, consistent one. There is a Recomp as well, and there is a different one I can't bring off my head right now, but I could always give you them after the show.
Post it on your page, man.
I do.
Yeah.
I do, and a couple of the people actually on the challenge actually had good scales that, you know, that the results was working. You could see their progress and you could compare it as well.
It's not just weight loss, it's education.
So we're here, we are seeing that we have two categories of winners. Weight loss and the most inches lost. You know, for different exercises and you know, health achievements as it pertains to exercise, you have different, you know, regiments
for every single one. So, and the challenge was so open, you could have texted me at any time, messages. If the workout wasn't structured for you, I actually designed up like challenges of anything differently. So persons also had the availability to work at any fitness group on the island that they felt to do, you know, all the clubs, the NGOs that was assigned, they could have did that. And I also designed workouts that you could have did at home, or if you wanted to go to the gym on your own. If you was looking for, I need an example, I might just jump in the gym, show you a demonstration or example, and send it back to them.
Right. Yeah. So the weight loss challenge is only one of Extreme Fitness's offerings. You guys also do hikes, one of which is scheduled for August 1st, Emancipation Day.
Yes. So finally, where's the camera? What are we looking at? With this one here? Right. So folks, good morning. Extreme 6th annual hike. Last year we had 465 people. I'm grateful for this challenge because it started with 86 persons, 1 baby and a dog. I'll never forget that. Right? And this year we are launching it on August 1st. So folks, you all do not have to blow up my phone and ask me when the challenge of the hike is. And it's going to be a big turnout this year. I'm looking forward to it.
So as we close off the interview, share with the viewers the contact details with which they can reach you and how they could register or be a part of the challenge or the hike.
So WhatsApp 293-6836, which is my contact. As you all already know, Extreme Fit Official on Instagram, Donnie Vincent on Facebook. Any of the three, you could hit me up. Also TikTok as well, which is Extreme Fit Official. And again, 293-6836. Early bird closes Friday the 10th. Yes, because today's the 8th to be exact. And any payment after that will be $150 for the registration. Lock-off is the 28th of this month.
All right, so viewers, there you have it, the Extreme Fitness 27-day challenge. Now, the interview isn't ended because when we come back from the break, we not only have Mr. Vincent, but 2 of the winners of the last 27-day challenge, so you get to know and understand more.
All right. So guys, you heard it here first. This is Tobago Updates Wednesdays. Just remember to
share the live, share the live, share the live.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Benin. Coming up, Jamaica, here we come. These women of vision are on a mission. Ride the waves and savor the flavor, otherwise known as spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda. Fun times, plus the food that sets St. Kitts and Nevis apart, all available under one roof. Cue the entertainment and the food. It's Chinese Spring Festival time. It's all next on this station.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear, an older patient may have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. So a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back. It is Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show, and we just concluded an interview with Mr. Daniel Vincent. However, joining us now, we have Miss Candice Rajman and Miss Rianne Thomas, and they are both winners of the last 27-day challenge that was hosted by Extreme Fitness. Good morning to both of you, and welcome to Tobago Updates.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So firstly, you guys are products of this 27-day challenge. You are a living testament of the commitment that was required and the results that can be attained. Yes. But I'm very sure along the way, giving up was a recurring thought in the back of your mind. So to Ms. Rajman, firstly, let the viewers know, what was it that kept you grounded and allowed you to push through towards the end of the journey?
Well, two things, all right? So firstly, last Saturday was my birthday, so I had that motivation. I wanted to fit into certain clothes that I bought. So that was one of the main ones, and also for some health reasons. I do have some high blood pressure issues at times, and throughout the challenge I would have been doing my pressure readings and it started to reduce. So that helped me to keep pushing on.
And Ms. Thomas, what kept you grounded?
What kept me grounded was the small wins, like stepping on the scale every week and see even it's 1 pound, because I've been trying to like exercise for a while now and it has been like up and down. So the small wins really kept me going. Be happy. See the scale reduce every time.
All right. So Daniel, Mr. Vincent happened to be your coach. And he's not here now, so he could speak candidly about the experience and the torture he put you guys through for you guys to attain this thing. And I know it's not just about the money, of course, but you guys did win some prizes, some good prizes. But just walk us through what some of the exercises you all did, and what would you rate Mr. Vincent's coaching skills to be?
All right, well, I guess I'll start first. So diet is important, right? And that's one of my major downfalls on a normal day. So that portion control, right? He had a little piece of the slogan, something along the lines of "Don't eat to be greedy." So I do love my belly, so that was one of my major challenges, right? So he did talk about portion control and taking away the set of carbs. I love flour naturally, and taking away the flour and the set of processed food and just feeding mostly on steamed vegetables and salads with meat, and chia seeds was now my new friend because I didn't use chia seeds like that before. So typically my breakfast might have been some yogurt, unsweetened yogurt with some chia seeds. Lunchtime I may do some salad, and that had to be a smaller salad with meat. If I didn't have direct meat like rotisserie chicken or so, I might have done boiled eggs, or snacks were like nuts, or but mostly for me was nuts. That's what I would have chosen to eat, and dinners would have been salad again.
And just walk us through the discipline and the mindset behind being consistent, because you know when the hunger hits you, it is a real thing, right?
Yes.
And to segue from your your lifestyle
Yes.
of eating, you know, it's quite arduous. But just walk us through the discipline and, you know, the day-to-day decisions you made, right, to not fall short.
All right, so firstly, my friends, shout out to the aisle at work, they would have assisted me a lot, right? Because, Rajman, we're eating there, right? We even had a rolling joke. One of my co-workers would have made some red plums and given us as samples. Rajman, don't eat none, you know. I said, gosh, one now. And I take one and then make sure that is only one I eat. I would have eaten at that point in time. So family and friends would have really pushed me through, and again, having the end goal in mind would have kept me on course, but it was a challenge. I would have had hungry moments within the first 2 weeks.
Yes. Ms. Thomas, tell us about your experience in terms of the exercises, the discipline, and some of the changes you made as well.
So for me, it was a bit challenging at times, especially like when I didn't feel like showing up or going to the gym or eating healthy because I like sweets, I like flour. So the hardest part was staying consistent when I didn't feel like going. But in the gym, I changed my eating habits because I always used to work out, but not as hard. So the challenge really pushed me to work out harder. But the main change for me was my diet. So I tried to stay within like a calorie deficit and like manage my portions, eat a certain amount of carbs and proteins. And in the gym, I focused more on cardio and not just lifting of weights, because before I would just go to the gym and I would just do weight training only. And since I started the challenge, I started cardio on the treadmill, the stairmaster. So that's where I guess that's where I started seeing the results. Yes.
Now, you both are sharing your stories, and I'm sure so there are many viewers who are empowered and inspired. I'll start with Ms. Thomas. What is your advice you may have to someone who wants to unlock a stronger, fitter version of themselves, but may be skeptical of joining this challenge?
My advice would be to start small, stay consistent, and just keep going. Like, don't matter what, just keep going, because you might not see the results right away. It might not be in 1 week, it might not be in 2 weeks, but you would be surprised to see what consistency would do. So I would say start small and keep going. Stay consistent.
All right, so as Ms. Thomas said, consistency and discipline is key. All right, the small portion sizes, that is really important because your diet has a major role to play in you losing weight and maintaining that weight loss. All right, so even if you happen to fall off for a little moment, please jump back on and keep going. Right, we are only human, and at the end of it, it is for your benefit. It's not for Daniel's benefit or anybody else's benefit but yourself. All right, so keep pushing.
Right. And you know, I've been Mr. Vincent was here. He mentioned some of the the brand name skills that will that would be best for some of the activities and the achievements people set out for weight loss and so on. What about the apps? You know, these days we have like calorie tracking apps, you know, that will make weight loss and dieting a lot more easier than, you know, years before. Did you guys rely on any of these things, and what are some of the recommendations you guys would give in terms of especially our young, old, not so young persons who would need this little help up to give them the encouragement and so on in terms of apps recommendations?
All right, well, built in on my phone, I had the watch as well. I have my step-in trackers. So seeing how much steps I make on a daily basis, and the watch will also tell me, take steps, time to move, you know, so it would have given me that reminders. And one of my major downfalls in the past would have been water intake. So having an app reminding you rather to drink some water now, that assists.
Right. And Ms. Thomas?
And for me, so I also have a watch that would track my exercise, everything that I did in terms of exercise. I would put it on my watch that I'm working out now. So I had that. And then for my food, I have the app Carb Manager and My Fitness Pal. So you would put in like all your information, your weight, your height, and they would calculate how many calories, how many carbs, how many protein you should have for the day. And as you breakfast, you log it, and they will tell you the amount of carbs, the amount of protein, everything for the end. Like each meal, you log it, and it's gonna say what was your intake for the day to make sure that you stayed within the calorie deficit.
All right. Guys, you heard it here first. These are the two extreme 27-day winners, Miss Rajman and Miss Thomas. Guys, thank you so much for sharing in your experience. Thank you for sharing about your wins. I hope you guys continue to win. And for those of you who are on the edge of your seats, you know, wondering or procrastinating, or whether you should join a gym, or, you know, whether you should make that walk, get up early in the morning and make that walk, or even the diet change, we want to encourage you from the experiences of these two beautiful ladies to just get up and do it. Get it done. Yeah. Get it done. If not, ring Mr. Vincent's phone, and you know, he gonna help you out, right?
Registration ends on Friday.
Oh yeah, registration ends on Friday. That's early bird. Yeah, for those of you who pocket deeper than all of us here combined, you don't have to worry about the Friday date. But guys, this brings us to the end of Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates morning show. This is Jolie and I saying, share the live, share the live, share the live.
We actually give us strength. We actually guide our path. make the pampers stay safe, clear the ways so that all will be well, so that we can return it safely.
Today we are having our walkathon. It's an annual event, and the theme for this year is Move for Mental Health, Well Minds, Strong Bodies. And our aim for this year's walkathon is to bring awareness to mental health issues that are affecting persons within our society, not only adults, but also children. So today, apart from bringing awareness, we want the students to be able to free up after a long term.
Well, first of all, apart from being a representative, this is my school. This is the only school I attend. So I always come out and support. I spent 17 years doing PE with the children, so it's always close to my heart.
This is a very good initiative for mental health because not many of us know about mental health. I know more mental health. So I come to the walk on behalf of that.
I feel amazing doing the walk with the school today because mental health is important.
This is a very good one since it's mental health, and you know plenty of people suffering underneath with it. So it's a good initiative to bring out people to make them aware of mental health.
Because it's wonderful. I get to be with my friends and we can work together, and especially it's be after school. Not during the school term because then I go have like tests and
it's always good to render support to the school, children participating in the event, right? And I mean exercise, being fit is always a good thing. So I say, let me come out and support the school, because they're trying to do what they could do for the public, especially for the community, and it's a good initiative. I support it.
I love today's event. It's always wonderful to come out first thing in the morning, parents, children, and members of the community. We have the area rep here. Lambo Anglican School is a school that thinks about the holistic development of their children. It's not just about the academics. Today's message is all about mental health, which is sometimes overlooked in Tobago. So we are happy to come out here and share with the rest of Tobago, Trinidad, and all over the world. It's a wonderful event.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to
Hi, pleasant good morning, viewers. Good morning, Tobago, and welcome to Good Morning Tobago for Wednesday, the 8th of April, 2026. This morning's program is going to be an exciting one because we have some very special guests in studio with us, and they are going to be talking about the dynamics of international artists. So as we continue the conversation, we have Mr. Nolan Baines and Miss Kai DeVere, who is going to be, sharing some very important information with us. As we continue, I want us to remember that we can continue to share and stay tuned on YouTube, stay tuned on AMPLIA, on 102, yes, on Flow, my apologies, right? Thank you so much. As we move to a break, I want you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
To live for, dreamer, dreamer. Don't let them tear you down. You wear your heart on your sleeve. It's easy to see it, beware of deceit, but don't stop believing.
Good morning again, Tobago, and welcome back to the show. Today we're diving into the conversation that sits right at the intersection of music, business, and global influence. We're talking about how Caribbean talent is not only making waves, but building powerful connection across the world. And in studio with us, we have none other than Mr. Nolan Baines. Let me put some title to that. Emmy Award winner, Nolan Baines. And we also have an international artist, Miss Kai DeVere, and they are going to be having a very interesting conversation with us. Yes, two phenomenal guests who represents both sides of the journey. Mr. DeVere, Mr. Baines. Morning. So we're gonna be starting with you as it relates to the conversation, because your journey is such a unique one. You would have started off as an artist, and to now you are playing that very important role on the executive side. Sure. Tell us, how is it moving from an artist being on the spotlight to now being on the scenes as it relates to an executive?
Well, first of all, good morning, and thank you for having us. So it's an interesting question. I mean, I think for me it happened naturally. I was a kid, right, in high school, that like most kids in high school, you want to rap, you want to sing, you want to be an artist, you want to be in front of the camera. And I had an internship at a record company. And I think I was still in high school, and I actually realized how amazing the business side was. How much it interested me, right? There was so many moving parts. There were so many smart people, and I just gravitated towards it. So it happened naturally. I didn't make a conscious decision, right? I continued to be creative throughout college, continued to be creative as I, progress in the corporate world. And now it's funny, right? I'm not an artist now, but some of that creativity that I learned as a child or learned as I grew and music was a huge part of my life is still applicable now, right? Like we're still telling stories, we're still working with creatives and working with artists, and now you kind of get the understanding of sort of how all these things work together, right, to create stars, right? And there's some people that should be front runners and leading women and leading men. I wasn't a leading man, so.
Let me just add, because I know to add to your whole cadre as it relates to who you are as an individual, you are the entertainment executive, yes?
Yes.
You spent your former career at the famous MTV. We all know about MTV growing up, and the 300 entertainment label for Megan Thee Stallion, and you're heavily focused on film and television.
TV, yeah.
Yes. Was it difficult, or was it a difficult shift stepping away from creative forefront to more strategic role?
I would say I'm still technically in a creative space, even though my focus every day is on business, right? For the most part, being creative in the space that I am now is every day, all day, right? So we're writing stories, we're pitching, we're trying to get funding, we're trying to, convince a star to be part of our projects, right? All of it is creative.
Yes.
So for the average young kid that is thinking about the industry, right, and you're afraid that if you step away from the spotlight of being an artist, you'll never be able to use your creative powers. It's not true. In the creative space, I mean, you guys know, producers here are all creative. They're writing stories, they're putting together shows, right? You're a creative. You're right. You're writing stories. Like, yeah, no, it's so it wasn't hard at all, and it's a consistent thing, right? Being creative as an executive or being on the business side is a huge part of what we do. So,
thank you so much. Ms. Kai, over to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. And it's safe to say that Mr. Ver is an international singer. Yes, she was born in England, but was raised in Tobago.
Absolutely.
And we have adopted her as a Tobagonian. It's safe to say.
Thank you. It's very safe to say.
Right, good.
Yeah, I do need it in writing, just in case.
Right. Kai, tell us, your rise on the international scene has been nothing short of exciting. I am sure about that. At what moment did you realize that, music is your thing?
I always knew.
Yeah.
I always knew. I was singing, as a child, 3, 4, 5 years old, annoying my family. I think when I first realized what it takes, came a lot later on in life. Maybe, like early 20s kind of thing. And that journey is like still continuing, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, I've sang, I've always sang, and I've had, all sorts of experiences trying to figure out who I am and what my sound is and all of it. You know what I mean? It takes a while, that development process.
You sound really confident, because I'm thinking that, along the way you were trying to figure it out.
Sure.
But I'm getting the feeling that you have definitely figured it out. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like it's also like a never-ending journey, to be fair. However, I'm definitely a lot more confident, and I have a better idea of who I am and what I bring to the table. You know what I mean? What I want to share.
Yes.
In my music and stuff like that. So, and that takes time. That definitely takes time, figuring out who you are outside of being an artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like as a person. So, yeah.
Definitely understood. Nolan, tell me, from a business standpoint, because we really want to get into the heart of the discussion as it relates to international alliance.
Sure.
Yes?
Sure.
So from a business standpoint, what does the term really mean, especially in today's music industry?
So, I think nothing happens within the music space, nothing big anyway, or significant without collaboration, right? One of the things that I think our people do a lot, and when I say our people, I'm from Guyana, so I'm hoping y'all are claiming me as a true born and bred Caribbean youth. No, but it's wow. The disrespect. It's collaboration matters, right? Like, so for us, like putting that philosophy into practice, we have a creative collective called Our Music, and it's people that are just putting their expertise into a pot to make music work, to make TV shows work, right? To make projects work. And so I think the International Alliance thing means that there are special sauces all around the globe. especially amongst the diaspora, right? There are artists in Trinidad that are amazing stage performers. Then there are great writers. There are great managers in different parts. And the idea is why aren't we collaborating as opposed to everyone working in silos
individually?
Right. And I never understood that, because coming from New York and working in hip hop and being, extra sort of, being a student of that genre, that's all I saw. Right. If you were a DJ and you made beats and your friend over there was a rapper and a writer, like, people were collaborating until you had something to kind of brag about. Correct. And you had, different missions to go on. But, I think it's key. And from a business perspective, that collaboration just doesn't stop with the creative. Right. We have a responsibility as government, as private sector businesses, as people that are controlling resources, to develop the creative economy here, because the creative economy, is going to be projected to be over $100 million by 2030. I'm sorry, $100 billion with a B, right? So are you telling me that we shouldn't be investing in that in that industry, right? And especially when we have so much talent here, right? Like, I've spent a few weeks here in Tobago on this trip, and I've met so many creatives that have incredible voices, that are shooting documentaries, that are writing, like, there's no shortage of it. Correct. And I think until the Caribbean as a whole starts to treat the creative economy as a real industry, it's going to be tough for us to compete. Because America sees it, Europe sees it, Africa sees it, and it's a huge industry that's generating tons of revenue. And that is done in a collaborative fashion. It's not done by one company or one person, right?
Thank you so much. A lot of information. And while you were talking, I was thinking about our own company that we have here in the form of TPAC, yes? Tobago Performing Arts Company. And before you leave, I would really want you to, jump in and, have that conversation with them as it relates to collaboration, because they really do excellent work. Right. Yeah? Yeah. Kai.
Yes.
Tell me, what was your first major collaboration, and basically how did the opportunity come along?
Well, my first major collaboration was definitely more so on the writing side. Right. Where I collaborated with Zach and Rogers. Right. They're like super producers, produced for her and ASAP Rocky and like a bunch of people. And also Gordon Chambers, Grammy Award winning songwriter. First of all, it was incredible. It really was. I definitely had a little bit I remember having a little bit of imposter syndrome a little bit, because, you go from just being who you are and creating in your bubble, and then you're not necessarily thrown into these situations. I was definitely walked in, my hand was definitely held, but you just feel like it's not intimidation, but I'm in awe of these people. You know what I mean? And so to think that I'm sitting with them, not in a class, but collaborating, and we're writing a song together, we're working on stuff together, incredible, and well, I would have got that opportunity, sorry, to answer that question, through this new situation, which is Our Music, which, as Nolan said, is a collaborative organization. We're all have our own expertise, and we all come together, we're put together in the same room, and we have producers, writers, singers, people in film, and all kind of different things. So that's kind of how that came about. That makes sense? No,
it does. It does.
The one thing I think that you always leave out is they saw her being from Tobago as a superpower. Oh, okay. They want to know all about Tobago. Tell me about Tobago. Sure. How do you do this? How do you do that? And that experience makes it into the music. Right? I can't wait until we could debut the music, which is going to come out in May. But the idea is that where you're from matters, right? Representation matters. And so she's in the room with Zach and Rogers, who are American, and Gordon Chambers, who's Jamaican, and they all want to know about Tobago. When can we go there to record? When can we, visit? The music itself becomes an ambassador.
Excellent conversation. Yeah, you'll have me really intrigued as we wrap up, because this morning has been truly an insightful one, very insightful. A lot of information being shared, and it is really clear that international alliances are not just about business. Yeah. It's about that whole idea of collaboration, culture, connection, and creating opportunities that really stretch beyond borders. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well said.
Closing words. There's a youth out there looking. kind of guide them as it relates to how is it that they can, carry about themselves to become an international artist. So that's
me or for her first?
You and then.
Right, so I think for the aspiring artist or business person that is out there trying to figure it out, I think first it starts with understanding who you are. It's your truth, right? What do you want to do? And then from there is information everywhere. There's people like me on social media that you could reach out to. You have to be dedicated to learning about the craft, right? If you could learn about the craft, and information is everywhere. This is a superpower tool right here, right? It's everywhere, and there's people like me that want to help, right? So first, understand what it is you want to do, and then try to reach out for the information.
Kai, 1 minute.
I would say that one of the things that definitely really helped me out on my journey is understanding that this is a business like any other business, and so there are steps and strategies just like everything else, right? And so to Nolan's point, it's first definitely figuring out your truth, who you are, and being really honest with yourself about that, right? Because anything is okay. Any answer is absolutely fine. You just kind of have to be honest about that, so then you know what steps you need to take. What you have the tools. You need to know what you're looking for. What information you're looking for is going to help you. I think. We definitely romanticize the industry, and as much as it is absolutely, magical situation, it also, as I said, is a business like anything else. And so there are steps that that makes sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nolan Baines and Kai DeVere.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you for, being with us and for sharing some important information. Keep supporting Caribbean talent as we continue to make a mark on the world stage. Yes?
Absolutely.
I am Nicole Williams-Wilson, and again, it is my pleasure to be with you on this morning's show. Stay with us as we continue the conversation. Coming up next, we have some very special guests that is going to be joining us in studio, our Tobago Carifta champs, alongside their team coach, Alan Morrison, and that is going to be an excellent one. Keep sharing the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Trinidad is my home, and I always say charity begins at home. So I'm just delighted to bring this team of dedicated volunteers. Part of our motto is that we just don't send relief. We hand deliver it with care and compassion. And as I would always tell my team, the best way to find oneself is to lose oneself in the service of others.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Benin. Coming up, Jamaica, here we come. These women of vision are on a mission. Ride the waves and savor the flavor, otherwise known as spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda. Fun times, plus the food that sets St. Kitts and Nevis apart, all available under one roof. Cue the entertainment and the food. It's Chinese Spring Festival time. It's all next on this station.
Hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way. Some bunny's getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through, because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together. Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way.
Trinidad, Tobago, and abroad. Your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday, 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs, and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor. So wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger. Good morning, Tobago.
Good morning, viewers, again, and welcome back. This morning, we are celebrating excellence, and excellence basically at the Tobago, at the Carifta Games, and we have some Tobago Carifta champs that is going to be joining us in studio. We're going to be celebrating excellence, celebrating discipline, and celebrating pure Caribbean Tobago talent. Our young athletes, they just returned. Actually, they returned to yesterday, so I know that some of them would be extremely tired from the Carifta Games 2026. And we have some outstanding performance, making us really extremely proud. Joining us this morning, we have the man behind the operation as it relates to the team coach for the combined events. And also joining us in studio, we have an athlete, Miss Kiori Robley. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So as we, dive into the conversation, what does it feel like as it relates to, the win? But before we get to the win, let me kind of share with Tobago the excellence that would have come out of the Carifta Games. I know that Tobago would have walked away with 15 medals, yes, making up the total 35 of Trinidad and Tobago. I think we would have, if we were supposed to separate it, we would have come sixth, yes, overall.
Well, it depends, because
it depends.
The relay medals are split amongst different people.
Right. Okay. So let's just have a breakdown of how excellent our athletes did. We have Alex Henry of Zenit. She would have cupped 2 medals, 100 meters. She would have gotten a silver, as well as a silver in the 4x100 under 20 women. We have Jaquan Douglas, who's going to be joining us in studio in a while, coming out of Zenit Athletic Club again. 2 medals, 100 meters, bronze, as well as the 4x100 meter under 17 male. He would have cupped a silver medal. O'Shea Cummings, yes, an athlete in Tobago. She's currently residing in Jamaica as it relates to going to school. She would have won silver in the 1,500 meter, as well as bronze in the 4x400 meter under 17 women. Deja Reed of Zenith Athletic Club, and O'Shea is from Zenith as well. She would have copped a bronze in the 4x100 meter under 17 women. Zaya Tobias, who also is an athlete residing in Jamaica, going to school there, but from Tobago. Bronze again, under 17 women, 4x100 meter. Jafari Shaw of RSS Phoenix. He would have gotten a gold in discus and a bronze in shot put under 17 men. Kyle Alexander Reed of Tobago Select. Exciting race. We would have all seen it. Under 20 male 800 meter, getting a gold there, as well as a bronze in the 4x100 meter under 20 male. Kaizen Panther, none other than Caleb Campbell, and he would have gotten a bronze in the under 20 men decathlon, and Curie Robley, Kaizen Panther as well, who's joining us in studio here. She would have also gotten a silver in the open women heptathlon. Yes? All right, I'm hoping that I did not miss out anyone. Last but not least, coming out of Mercury, we have Shauna Parson, and she would have gotten gold in the triple jump and long jump, bronze in the under 20 women. Excellent performance. Yes, just reading it alone, we are seeing bare excellence coming out of Tobago, and it really shows that Tobago have excellent athletes. Mr. Morrison, tell us the journey. How was it?
The journey was quite challenging in terms of the athletes being prepared from the off-season into the pre-season. And I believe that the performances of the national team, particularly athletes that are based in Tobago, because we had a couple of athletes who are not based here.
All right.
And those who were based here were challenged in terms of the access to the availability of a track, resources. So it was a great challenge, but the ingenuity of the coaches and whatever support systems they would have had to obtain privately would have allowed us to have the athletes somewhat prepared for the competition ahead.
Yeah, I understand the whole concept as it relates to the resources, because on numerous times I see, all the athletes trying to fit into one particular space at Shore Park, everybody competing. You have Kaizen Panther, you have Zenith, you have RSS Phoenix, all trying to, fit in one space at Shore Park. Yeah. And you also mentioned the fact that the tracks, yeah?
Yes.
Because you all did not have access to Dwight York Stadium. No. So they were literally running on grass. Not, yeah.
So to counter that, some of the decision was made by some of the coaches and the parents, where we would have had the athletes journey to Trinidad to do some training over an extended period, because there are some events that you need to have that familiar surface in order to be better. Kiara is an example of that. She would have run 14.8 in the hurdles at the Carifta trials. I would have spoken to her mom to have her, find some accommodation in Trinidad to be able to have access to a track consistently leading up to the games. And she was able to come away with the meet record in the hurdles with a personal best of 14.32.
Yes. I saw that. Actually, we were cheering. Yeah. That's so, and persons really don't understand what it takes. Yes. So this is really new information to me as it relates to her going to Trinidad.
Jaquan Douglas was the same thing.
Oh my gosh. And I am thinking that it would be so much from these athletes, because they have to balance going to Trinidad. They also have to balance their school work. Yeah. Because I know that Curie, you have exam coming up.
Yes.
So there is a balance there that needs to be had. Curie, tell me, take us to your Carifta experience.
Well,
Well, at first it was really challenging, sometimes demotivating, because like I said, we always on the grass, and seeing the Trinidadian athletes be on the track all the time, it's just like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen to me? But I am very determined, so it doesn't matter where I am, so I was just training hard every day, getting buff from coach, but I was okay because it helped. So the week leading up to Carifta Trials, I was in Trinidad training for the whole week. And usually I don't train every day in a week. Usually I have gym on Tuesdays, but I was on the track every day. So that alone was so tiring. And going into the games itself, I would say I was confident. I would say that I trusted my training enough to know that when I go out there, it's just to execute very well. So, yeah, and then when we reached, it felt like I was on a business trip. Like, it really felt like I was on a business trip. So, we are training in the stadium, obviously, to get accustomed to the track for the most part. And, yeah, I just rested a lot. I was on the bed all the time. Didn't really see the opening or anything like that. So that is why I say it was like a business trip. Because they say I really didn't feel like I get the Carifta experience, if you want to put it that way. So first day, hurdles. I'm very shocked that I got the meet record. But at the same time, I know I could have PB'd. So when I did, I was super happy. I think my coach was happy because he liked to train hurdles, so to make him very proud was making me feel very proud of myself. High jump was a bit challenging, but it has always been challenging for me, I would say. Shot put was okay this year. Shot put wasn't too bad. And then the 200 is one of my favorite events of all time. So I know I was going to come out on top for that, but I did not expect to run 14-1, especially after 3 events. So I was more happy than I was in the hurdles. And that is our next meet record that I made. So that is 2 meet records in one day. Day 2, long jump. It was okay. It wasn't bad, I would say. I think I racked enough points to stay in second place, because after the 200, I came up from 32nd place. Javelin was the most frustrating event of the whole experience. I cried, I get both, I cried some more until we got the results. And I was still in second, and I just know I had to push for the 800. I just know where I had to be. And with the help of my coach, I achieved that goal, and I came second in the whole thing with 2 meet records. And I was pretty much happy, almost cried, but I was okay. I feel like I achieved my goal. I went on a mission, and I think I achieved it. And yeah, I think the Carifta this year was good in terms of how I performed. I think this was the best Carifta performance I ever had since I'm Carifta.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Gary. Like, she gave us a whole sum of her Carifta experience. Well, not Carifta experience, a Carifta business experience. Yes. Let's say like that. Tell me, be honest now. What is one of the things that Mr. Morrison would always tell you?
He would just always say, trust yourself and trust me, because I have the certificate and you don't.
Right.
So,
okay.
I think that helped a lot, especially after the javelin, because I thought that I would have come down in 4th, but he said, I think you're still in 2nd, so just trust me and you'll be fine. So that is one thing he does always tell me.
Yeah, it's like trusting the process.
Yeah.
Mr. Morrison, how do you feel? Because I know that you put a lot of work into your athletes, not just on the track, but also in school as well. You make sure that they, really excel, and not just excel on the track, but excel at their school work. I always ask myself, how is it Mr. Morrison balances this track school, always present, always assisting athletes. You do a phenomenal job. Let me just say congratulations to you. Give you all your flowers on Tobago updates this morning, because you do a remarkable job as it relates to, building excellent athletes coming out of Tobago. Yeah?
Thank you.
Tell us.
So, in a general sense, as a coach, as a club coach, it was a very relaxing experience this year, because I know that the athletes, despite the many adversities they were preparing, Imani was also in Trinidad leading up to the character trials for the long jump as well. He did not get the performance that we would have expected, because one of the jumps that he performed was in a negative 4-point-something win. So that is okay. But in terms of their preparation, I know their preparation was solid. It was just a matter of them being able to execute. I am a bit surprised that the events that they got their meet records in, because Caleb also got a meet record in the 400 meters, came from the track version of the events. And I kind of like coaching the jumps as well. So that was okay. But as a team coach for Trinidad and Tobago, the overall experience was a very exciting one. I appreciated the effort that the national athletes placed in terms of their performance. There was a lot of heart, passion, determination, and a lot of them looked to us for that kind of guidance and reassurance, which was provided. I was surrounded by a very competent technical team, competent administrative team, and the medical personnel on Team Trinidad and Tobago was exceptional. They were able to hold the athletes down, get it together. And I think this year, the team performance, the team chemistry was so excellent that we really have nothing bad to say about the performance of the team. And we are looking forward to, in the absence of whatever support may not be present from the government, for the corporate world, for parents in particular, to really get behind and contribute to your children's development. What I would like to say, however, is that we need to have a culture shift in terms of how we approach sporting excellence in Trinidad and Tobago. And one of that shift has to come from the manner in which we treat with persons who have athletic abilities and the type of mindset that they have, because a lot of them have the capabilities, but they don't have the confidence. And I think sometimes as adults, we pamper them too much. So we kind of create this learned helplessness where they believe that unless I'm getting validation from somebody else, I can't do it. So that was something that I kind of took away from this experience, but it allowed me to understand that the athletes are willing to have the conversation and is ready to guide them in that direction.
Mr. Morrison, I really want to say it's safe. I am putting it out there. Yes, it is safe to say that character is over.
Yes.
So what is coming up is Olympics, right? So are we looking at some Olympians coming out of Tobago? And Kiori is giving me the nod in studio. The camera should be on her. She's telling me yes. Yeah? So is it safe to say that, Mr. Morrison? Yes.
Yes, it is safe to say that. But we do have a couple games this year to look forward to. We have the NACAC Under 18, Under 23 Championships. And we also have the World Athletics Under 20 Championships, where some of them can be considered in terms of their participation. Jaquan could be a part of the 100-meter squad, and well, Curie, based on where we decide to go from here, would be either in the 100 or the 200-meter hurdles or the 200 meters.
Right, yes. Mr. Morrison and Ms. Robley. Yeah, it's really, really, really a pleasure to have you all in studio with us, because this is a proud moment, and it's not just a proud moment for you as the athlete or you as a coach, but it's also a proud moment for us as Tobagonians. Yes, you have not only represented Trinidad and Tobago, but you would have inspired those upcoming athletes right here in Tobago, allowing them to understand that they have the potential to, go beyond. Coach Morrison, thank you so much again for your dedication to your athletes. Continue shining, because of the important factor that this is only the beginning for some of the athletes. There are so many more steps to take as we move forward. So thank you so much again for joining us. Viewers, you just heard the conversation. Yes, again, we had in studio with us Mr. Morrison, coach of the Trinidad and Tobago Carifta Games in the combined events, and we also had Curie Robley, an athlete in the Carifta Games. Yes, so at this time, as we continue the conversation and we continue along in the programming, I want you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Trinidad is my home, and I always say charity begins at home. So I'm just delighted to bring this team of dedicated volunteers. Part of our motto is that we just don't send relief. We hand deliver it with care and compassion. And as I would always tell my team, the best way to find oneself is to lose oneself in the service of others.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way. Somebody's getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through, because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together. Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way.
Trinidad, Tobago and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Benin. Coming up, Jamaica, here we come. These women of vision are on a mission. Ride the waves and savor the flavor, otherwise known as spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda. Fun times, plus the food that sets St. Kitts and Nevis apart, all available under one roof. Cue the entertainment and the food. It's Chinese Spring Festival time. It's all next on this station.
Viewers, welcome back. In studio with us, we have one of our Carifta champs. I know that you just heard from Alan Morrison, as well as the team captain, Curie Robley. But joining us in studio, we have Jaquan Douglas. And Jaquan Douglas is from the Zenith Athletic Club, and he would have performed excellently at the Carifta Games 2026. In fact, he would have gotten a bronze in the 100 meters and a silver in the under 17 male 4x100 meters. So we have him in studio with us. Good morning, Jaquan.
Good morning, miss.
Good morning, good morning. And he's so polite. This good morning, miss. Yes. It's a pleasure to have you in studio with us. And I know it would have been, really challenging being here, but it is always a pleasure to have you. Yes?
Thanks.
Tell me, how was your experience at Carifta 2026?
Well, my experience at this game was very nice. My plans going into the games was to just go make the finals and see if I can get a medal for my country and make my family proud and my country also proud.
In fact, we all sat and we all cheered on at home, especially when you ran that semi-finals, yes? And then seeing you making it into the finals and, cupping bronze in the finals itself. Tell me, as it relates to, and on screen we have the race, going on. Tell me, as it relates to your success, who can you say is, some contributing factors behind your success?
Well, my grandmother, Donna Morgan, my uncle Ash Douglas, my auntie Karen of the US, my mommy Tasha Septier, also my auntie Shirl, who keeps me on track with everything, my schoolwork, my track and field, and even my travels. My coach, Don Dillon. I'd also like to shout out my physiotherapist, Mr. Ruston Woods. My church family, the St. Barnabas Anglican Church. I'd like to shout out all my teachers of the Signal Secondary School and also my community.
Oh, so if you heard it this morning, and really saying thank you is an excellent place to be. And he's really humble in studio here, giving shout outs to all the individuals who would have contributed excellently in his life. Jaquan, tell us, what is the next step for you as an athlete?
Well, right now I have to focus on I have exams coming up. So anything after my exams, I'll start focusing on my exams right now.
So he's focusing on his exams. What are some of the subjects you're doing in school?
Well, I'm doing maths, English, POA, and maths. I did PE in fourth form.
Right.
I'm doing OA, technical drawing. Yeah.
Nice. In fact, as you start preparing for exam, I always tell my students, because yes, you're calling me miss, because I am a miss. I always tell my students, I'm leaving you with this little sound advice as you wrap up this morning's interview, that yes, we don't have time, but you have enough time to start preparing to make sure that you come out successful. Even now, I declare over your life that you are going to be, excellent, even in your schoolwork. So, because you look like you can balance both, yes? So again, thank you so much for joining us. And again, congratulations on your medals at the Carifta Games. And we look forward. Tobago, I want you to listen out for the names. I'm saying it very slowly. Jaquan Douglas, yes? So remember that name, because he will truly make headways in Tobago, not only Tobago, but in the Caribbean, and not only in the Caribbean, but on the international stage, yes? Thank you so much again for joining us.
Thanks.
So Tobago, that was a conversation this morning. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being with us. As we leave, I want you to continue to have a really excellent day. Be safe on the nation's road, and we're going to see you tomorrow again with Good Morning Tobago. Thank you and have a blessed one.
Strong, and the vibes is never